Hi guys, Isabella Costa here. I want to share with you something that I have been thinking about a lot lately. I heard a few weeks ago or days ago on HBRN something that made me really think about my business. But let me stop and say first that if you are not plugged into HBRN, you have to look them up online. It's Home Business Radio Network. There are some awesome leaders that do 15-minute shows, and I have gotten so much awesome advice from them. I'm always plugged in. Make sure that you have them on your favorites, and you have them on whenever you're in your computer. And then download the application to your phone so you can also listen to on the go. I always try to always have them on whenever possible. So I was listening to, I think it was the Leaders Luncheon that Doug Farbaugh does at 11 o'clock in the morning. And he was interviewing a top leader, but he said something on that interview that really got me thinking about my business. He said that years ago when he was building his network marketing business, his mentor told him that a great leader must always be more committed to their team more than the team is committed to the leader. And it really made me think about my commitment to my team. Because sure, I'm always out there congratulating and excited with the top sellers of my team. And I'm always out there congratulating and helping my top leaders, actually all the leaders on my team, build their business. But what about the people that are not showing up? What about the people that are not reaching out to me? How committed am I to them? And it really made me think about that. Am I doing enough to make sure that they get to the meetings? Am I doing enough to make sure that they're plugging into the conference calls? Am I doing enough to help them keep their dream in front of them? Am I doing enough to contact them even when they're not returning my phone calls or my emails? Because this business, guys, as you know, it's not brain surgery, and I love using that analysis. I heard that from Bob Avery. This business is not brain surgery, but this business is also not the easiest thing in the world, you know. And the reason for that is because it can really kick you in your self-esteem if you let it. You know, it can really get you down if you let it. All of us citizen representatives, we know that if we pass out 30 books and we don't get any orders, then we need to do the follow-up. And if we still don't get the orders, then we need to pass out 100 books. And if we are sharing the business opportunity and if we got 10 no's or 9 no's, we have to go for that one more no, because that one more is probably going to be the yes. And if we did share it with 20 and 20 told us no, then we have to share with another 20. Which that's not going to happen, but you get my point. The citizen representatives know that, and the citizen representatives know that if you hang in there and if you keep on just keeping your eye, if you do not take your eye off your goal, you're going to achieve it. And we know that because we listen to the advice and we've seen the stories of the people that were just like us and we got there. And we stay plugged into radio stations like HBRN, and we stay plugged into the conference calls, and we read the books and we listen to the CDs, and that helps us stay motivated in order for us to keep on going and help us reach our goal. But the new people don't know that. The new people have to learn that. The new people have to get it. So what happens with somebody comes into the business and they were so excited because we show them the possibilities and we show them all of the bonuses they can earn, and they're thinking, okay, I think I can do that. And then they get home and their family member tells them, oh, you can't make any money with Avon. Why are you wasting your time? Or the family members are not so supportive and they don't give them an order. Or they passed out their 10 books and they didn't have the courage to follow up, so now they don't have any orders and it's time for their first order. What happened to those people? Or what happens to the people that are so excited and they bring in 5 people and they're thinking, I'm going to get the $700 bonus, but then half of them do not place orders? Or what happens to the unit leader that reaches unit leader just barely, and then the next campaign she's at risk, and now with the 4 at risk, she loses her title and the money doesn't come in anymore. You know what happens to those people? They lose hope and they lose their motivation and they give up. So they stop returning our calls. They don't come to the meetings, and because we don't see them, then we are not sharing with them as much. We're not making sure that they get all the information they need to, with the excuse that they're not coming to the meetings, and I'm talking from experience. Um, it's our, who is it? Oh, John, I think it was John Maxwell. John Maxwell that taught us, that said, uh, leaders are dealers of hope, something like that. A leader has to have enough belief on the new representative, on the new leader, enough to make them hang in there, enough to help them get to the point where they now have the belief in themselves. So we have to be more committed to them, more than they are to us, because we have to help them hang on. And I've learned from it. I've learned from experience, and I think it was Jim Rohn that said, and definitely Zig Ziglar, but I think I also heard from Jim Rohn that said that you cannot think about your bills, you cannot think about your check, you have to think about their bills, and you have to think about their check. And it was Jim Rohn on the Network Marketing CD. I'm pretty sure. You have to put them first. You have to take yourself out of the equation, and I've definitely learned that from experience. And I know it's hard to take yourself out of the equation, because you have these bills that are overdue. You have this goal that you want to meet, or otherwise you're not going to get that bonus. But I've learned from experience that I have to take myself out of the equation. I have to focus on their goals. I have to focus on their dreams, and I have to focus on helping them get to their goals and dreams. And when they start giving up, when they start losing hope because things are just going south instead of the wonderfulness that they were expecting, I have to keep their goal in front of them. I have to go be knocking on the door and say, remember that you said you wanted this, and I have to help them get find the emotion behind that goal that is going to help them keep on going. Now, does this mean that everybody is going to do it? No. Does this mean that if you believe in them, they're going to believe enough, and everybody's going to believe in themselves eventually and not give up? No. And we also know that we cannot lead a horse to water. Many, many leaders have told us that. We know, most of us know from experience, that we cannot want this more for them. They have to want it for themselves. Otherwise, we're going to end up working the business for them, doing 3 or 4 times more the work. Once we get tired, we're going to let go, and our business is going to fall apart. So I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, are we truly committed to our team? Because, right now with social media, with Facebook, with so many groups they're on Facebook, and so many representatives being connected, we've all seen it. We've seen the representative, and we've all been there. I've definitely been there. I've definitely been the one that said, gosh, I just needed her a title, and it was going to push me up. Why did she give up? And here we are complaining to our downline, to our manager, if so-and-so wouldn't have quit, I would have gone up. And here we are complaining about so-and-so hasn't placed for their order. So-and-so hasn't made their order. And we're sending them those reminder e-cards, pay your balance. Which they're probably ignoring, because the only time that we call them is to remind them that you have to pay your balance. Do we call them and say, hey, how's it going? How can I help you? How can I support you best? You see the point that I'm getting at? So, we've all been there. We've all been there where we are blaming so-and-so because she quit. Now I'm not going to make it because so-and-so hasn't placed her order. My check is not going to, I'm not going to get the $25 check. If so-and-so doesn't pay, then I'm not going to get paid. And yes, that's true. But you can't focus on that. You have to take yourself out of the equation. You have to just focus on their dreams and goals. You have to focus on helping them reach their goals. You have to focus on keeping their goals in front of them and help them find an emotion behind that goal. And I promise you that if you do that, your team will explode. And I know it's hard, guys. I know it's hard not thinking about your check because your bills are overdue. But we also know that their check is our check. They go up, we go up. And let me just tell you the stress that you are going to prevent on yourself if you stop worrying about your bills, if you stop worrying about your check. Just focus on them. Help them celebrate. Help them get to the point that they need to, and your business is going to explode. I promise you, I'm talking from experience. So, I just thought it was a question. I hope all this is making sense. I thought it was a great question to ask yourself, because it was definitely a question that made me think about my whole team, not just about the leaders that are working, not just about the top sellers that are placing orders, but my whole team. Am I more committed to them than they are to me? Because remember that their dreams are goals, their business is my business. So I just thought it was something for you to think about. If you don't know yet, which I'm sure you already do, I was privileged and honored to be invited back to speak at the Bledsoe's, Lynette and Gary Bledsoe's Leadership School. I was there last year, and I had a blast. They had a great turnout, and they asked me to come back, which I'm so happy that I'm going to be sharing the stage with the Bledsoes, with Sherry Calderon, with Melissa Tuttle, with Maria Castro and Belinda Castro. I think both of them are Castros. So it's going to be a fun event. I'm going to put the link at the bottom of this video. Check it out. It's the first weekend of April. I think it's April 6th. It's the first Saturday. If you're in San Antonio, come see us. It's a free event. If you're not in San Antonio, but you're in Texas, jump on your car, make the drive with a couple of team members, and come see us. Come have lunch with me. Let's exchange dreams. I love having dream sessions. I'm a big believer in dreaming big, and I love to sit down and have dream sessions. So come have a cup of coffee with me. We'll split a pie, and let's exchange dreams. I would love to hear your dreams and goals for your business. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk to y'all soon.